I know for a lot of reasons, people may not want to watch this video. I only ask that you consider maybe just muting it, letting it play through, and sharing it on social media, because there's a lot of information I'm about to share with you that is important. If you've been following the story of No Paws Left Behind, essentially, there are 51, as we know, as we can currently count, contracted working dogs. Now, the words matter in this case, and I'm going to get to that. There are other, maybe 100 dogs, I've been told, that are put into the hangar that are being watered and fed. And there are also tons of other dogs that have just been released to roam and fend for themselves in the airport in Kabul, as our government has now declared they have taken their L and are fine with leaving U.S. citizens and allies behind at this point. I'm sure they'll turn up in various human shield positions over the years. But that's not what this video is about. And this video isn't about getting political or blaming anybody. It's just to inform everyone on the situation. Last night, pictures surfaced of service dogs in kennels in an airport hangar. You can see trained dogs by U.S. forces have also been left at the Kabul airport. 51 of them, by all counts, according to Veteran Sheepdogs of America. Now, there's some more to be known about Veteran Sheepdogs of America that I'm going to get into because it's very important. What is real, from what I can determine, is the dogs and the U.S. citizens and allies left behind. What is questionable are the people currently fundraising to rescue said dogs. I'm not going to say that it is for sure a scam, but it looks very suspicious, which is doubly heartbreaking. We could see in many videos of the Kabul airport service dogs left roaming. Here you could see, here's video footage. You see a couple of what looks like German Shepherds or Shepherd breeds. Here's more. Now, maybe roaming dogs at the airport is something that's normal, but you could see they have collars on with tags on them. These are not stray dogs. You could see they're just left to roam. So when John Kirby, our Pentagon press secretary, says to correct erroneous reports that the U.S. military did not leave any dogs in cages at the airport, including reported military working dogs, photos circulating online were animals under the care of Kabul Small Animal Rescue, not under our care. It's questionable. This dog looks super thin, by the way. These look like German Shepherds. As many of you know, I am a German Shepherd excuse me, collector, dad. So this hits especially hard. The start of this comes from a woman named Charlotte. A U.S. woman under Tally's watch won't leave Kabul without her staff and hundreds of rescue animals. What I am told is she took these animals to the airport without any kind of scheduled flight. The rescuers received $700,000 in donations over the past week through online sites, grants, and smaller fundraisers. The money is intended to pay for chartered flight or flights, but logistical challenges remain that make coordinating with the U.S. military and Tally necessary. We are needing permits for landing for animals. This has been going on since the 25th. Charlotte is still there on the ground, by the way, and has called the rescue operation, quote unquote, a scam, according to Greta Van Susteren, who provided zero additional information. Just, it's a scam. Trust me, bro. Thanks for nothing, Greta Van Susteren, former Wisconsin news person, and now they're also garbage on a different platform, apparently. Veteran Sheepdogs of America responds saying, sorry, Greta, you got your facts wrong. We are working with Charlotte's lawyer for them to sign an NDA to show proof of life of the dogs so we can release their portion of money to a plane company directly, not to us. Check my account, about to give an update. To which Veteran Sheepdogs of America did provide an update, saying essentially that the 51 dogs are under their care. They're working with the Turks and other people to get everything lined up. The problem is, excuse me, they've also talked about Glenn Beck and Glenn Beck's people committing money, something that Glenn Beck now denies openly and in a very damning way. Essentially, Glenn Beck says that Veteran Sheepdogs of America claimed that he had committed $600,000 for decommitted help and then decommitted helping get their flight off in Afghanistan. Glenn Beck says that that conversation never happened, that they had asked Veteran Sheepdogs of America numerous times for diplomatic paperwork, tail numbers, anything to prove that they could get these animals out, and they were never provided that. So what it looks like right now, heartbreakingly, one, is that several people are grifting money to save these dogs while they probably starve on the tarmac in Afghanistan, die of heat exhaustion. I don't know what the temperature is there, but excuse me, leaving them in a kennel in an airport hangar or just releasing them to their own devices is abhorrent. The information provided by Glenn Beck is bad. I mean, it makes, this agency that claims to have a plane on the ground and is ready to go look like liars. You can see there are dogs in these kennels. You see the original post yesterday. Update, we are told by the Army that the whole show is coming to a screeching halt. There's allegedly only one flight left out of here for civilians tonight and no dogs. And she, Charlotte, is going to have to get on that plane herself, whether it's by her own volition or not. From what I can tell, she did not get on that plane. She has stayed behind. Now, they refute saying that, Greta is lying, but you can see this morning, Glenn Beck group committed $600,000, then decommitted, helping get our flight off. The State Department is aware and not happy. Crying emoji. I don't know about using emojis in this particular case. Maybe the Veteran Sheepdogs of America really were trying to save these people, save these dogs. But the amount of money that they're raising, $1.6 million, does not jive with some of the numbers I've been told by people close to the situation. You can see this article saying animal rights groups are working to save dozens of helpless service dogs left behind when the U.S. military completed its withdrawal on Tuesday. Now, maybe they weren't exactly military-owned dogs. They were contracted by the military. But I would argue that if that's the case, then it should certainly be their responsibility to get them out. Dr. Robert Ganzert, CEO of Washington, D.C.-based American Humane, said on Monday that dozens of contract dogs have been left behind to receive a terrible end. As the country's first national humane organization and largest certifier of animal welfare in the world, it sickens us to sit idly by and watch these brave dogs who valiantly served our country to be ended or worse. Another group, Veteran Sheepdogs of America, said Monday that it was attempting to get 51 working dogs out of Kabul. On Tuesday, the group said it was able to raise to $1.67 million to charter a 737 to evacuate the animals, but needed another $500,000 to replace an animal rescue operation that, quote, fell through. One of the major operations to save stranded animals, Kabul Small Animal Rescue, was founded by an American named Charlotte Maxwell Jones, who refused to leave without saving some 250 animals in her care. Not all of them military or contract service animals, as Maxwell Jones Group has been working to save strays in Kabul since 2018. Maxwell Jones described some of the animals she has been able to ship out of Afghanistan over the past month as companions befriended by deployed service members. She said she received little help from U.S. officials at first, but now people in the United States are getting their senators and state representatives involved. The International Society of Prevention which work with Kabul Small Animal Rescue, an Operation Hercules project, reported Monday that Maxwell Jones was, quote, forced to leave the airport with one puppy under her arm as final evacuations occurred. She was escorted by the tally back to a rescue shelter 7 miles out of Kabul, where she remains safe, quote, for the moment. The SPCA International said, crediting Maxwell Jones with rescuing 46 working dogs and several personal pets belonging to fleeing Americans. The SPCA International update said Kabul Small Animal Rescue was forced to release many of its animals as strays when it was denied access to aircraft during the chaotic final hours of the U.S. military withdrawal. Now, I can understand the U.S. military not paying to rescue strays. But it's concerning that so many of these are working dogs. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby said on Tuesday, clarified that the dogs pictured in cages in Kabul Small Animal Rescues are animals under the care of that organization, not dogs under the, quote, direct care of the U.S. military. The U.S. military, quote, did not leave any dogs in cages at the airport. People seem to refute that take as well when we look at the replies. Update, contract military working dogs left by the DOD. Rescue non-working dogs were released, meaning just go on. The trained working dogs, close to 50, are at the airport with handler and Afghan family. Veteran Sheepdogs has raised money trying to get them out of the United States. But I thought there were no working dogs there. Absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, you have contractor dogs, so they should probably be the responsibility of contractors. But it's concerning to me all the money that's being raised around this right now. I can't in good faith recommend any of these organizations to give your money to at this point. And the real tragedy is these animals will probably meet their end in this airport. Just another depressing, just heartbreaking development in a long string of them after 20 years of disaster in Afghanistan. Absolute. I would be happy to take as many as 5 of these dogs into my own home right now if they get back to this country. But at this point, there isn't any good information. It seems like way too many people have their hands out, and it's heartbreaking. Please share this video, get the word out there, and pray for these dogs.